familiar with the controls.
Where did you get that from?
Mercedes of Bedford.
All right. Okay. So is that home? That's where you've come in from, is it?
Yeah. No. I live near Crowthorne, Bracknell, near Ascot.
Bedford's handy then.
Yeah, but it's just the cheapest place on the internet, basically. And
I see.
the guy drove it.
All right.
Drove it here, and then I gave him a lift to the train station, and he
All right.
took a train back.
What engine? GLC did you say?
GLA.
GLA. Yeah. What engine you got in that?
220.
Okay. Good. So how are we getting on with seat setup in this one then?
Yeah, fine.
All right.
Pretty much what just enough. Yeah, no, comfortable.
Right. Paperwork.
Got enough. You're a little bit on the shorter side, aren't you? So you don't really have too many complaints.
We won't bother with the sunroof.
No, I don't think we will. And have you done stuff like this elsewhere?
No, not tracks. I have driven the C63S saloon and the C63.
Yeah, you said
the older
you've
version.
hired them. Yeah.
So I've been around the road, and obviously I've pushed it a little bit, but nothing like, I've kept it within a reasonable whatever.
Yeah.
But,
as I'm sure we will do here.
yeah.
Because I can assure you the road is kind of slippery today.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So if you could do a pedal check for me, please. So throttle and brake. Throttle and now brake. You look a long way away from everything somehow, but is you happy with that?
Yeah. No, that's
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how we get on. If we need to make any changes later on, then we
Almost.
can do.
I mean, I might normally actually sit. Oh, these are slightly higher, aren't they? I think I can get a bit lower in my car, but no, I can see everything clearly.
All right. So let's pop it into gear. That's good. Hazard lights on, and we operate a one-way system here, so we're heading up in that
Round the
direction,
cars, yeah?
round behind the A45. So what brings you in here today?
It's my 35th birthday today.
That's it.
Happy
birthday.
My dad was here in November, and that was his 70th.
Right. Happy birthday in November.
As he pointed out, I'm half his age now.
Yeah. Don't run this guy over. And we're just on through here.
Can you fit two cars with it? Oh, that was you. I was going to say. I thought the brakes were really sensitive.
We'll make a left turn down
Do we need to indicate? Oh, it's on anyway, haven't you? So it doesn't really matter.
30 around here, isn't it?
This road is, yeah. Because this is two-way traffic, or the potentially two-way traffic. So we'll go all the way down to the end of this road. This is what we call the access road. You can see the 30 mile an hour sign. And we share these facilities with our young driver academy. So there could be youngsters 11, 12 years old out here driving. So it would be bad form for us to go racing around with them on one side. Dynamic areas to our right, entrance to Moore Circuit to our left. We'll go all the way down to the end to our South Circuit. South is the nursery slope, if you like. It's an opportunity for us to get a feel for the car, identify if we would be more comfortable making any changes to seating position and so on. And it will also give us an opportunity to sort out our navigation technique. So turn left here. Follow the road round to the edge.
When I was here before, I know that they asked you to keep hold of the steering wheel, so I will be. I this. That's what they were getting my dad to do.
So I thought you said you hadn't been here before.
No, but I've been in the back while he's. Sorry, in terms of the experience, no, my dad did, and I sat in the back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I sort of
Who were you with?
Can you remember? It was a young chap. He got an injury. Something happened and he couldn't.
Lost his sponsorship because he had an accident.
Lost his what?
Sponsorship or something. He'd had an accident and.
I don't know who that is. Anyway, one-way road. There will not be anybody coming the other way, so that means we can use all the road. We've paid for it all. We can use it all. And what we're trying to do here is take full advantage of the fact that we've got the place to ourselves, well, not to ourselves, but there's nobody coming the other way. It's an important consideration. So that means there's no reason why we can't try to identify the ideal line at every turn. And to do that, it's sometimes helpful to take a step back and ask ourselves, what does this car inherently want to do? And it'd be the same answer for the GLA. What does any car, what direction do they inherently want to travel in?
Shortest distance or sideways or...
Okay, let's ask another question. If you were to let go of the steering wheel right now, what would the car do?
Just want to keep going in a straight line.
It would. It's not. It's making a turn at the moment. It would adopt a straight line. The steering would self-centre, wouldn't it?
I see. Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
So if that's what it does without any input from you, it would seem to make sense for us to try to find the straightest line through the corner, the shallowest line, the line that's going to require the minimum amount of steering input. If inherently it wants to go straight, by definition it's therefore it's most stable in a straight line. So we're trying to reduce the deviation from the straight ahead. You with me? So what approach are we taking at this next corner to try to find the straightest line?
Come in from the left and try and cut over sort of this part
Yeah.
here and then squeeze slowly out.
Back out to the outside. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Have we got any reference points out here that are helping us identify our turn points?
The cones.
Yeah, good. You're obviously listening in November. A bit artificial, but without anything out here, it'd be quite difficult having this conversation. So we're trying to be smooth and accurate. Those are the two primary objectives whenever we're driving, smooth and accurate. The accurate bit is getting as close to these cones as we possibly can. No sooner, no later, that's where we turn. When we get to the cone, we turn to the inside, to the apex. That's it. Now keep the steering where it is. And back to the white line. The white line's at the edge of the road. But the real key to this, Matthew, is looking where you want the car to go. Not where you are going, where you want it to go. There's very little out here that's blocking our view. No trees or hedges or buildings or other vehicles or anything like that blocking our view. So there's nothing to prevent us from looking through the corners. Can you see the next cone over there?
Yeah.
That's where we need to be looking. That's where we want to go. It's the way you and I are made. We tend to follow our eyes. We go where we look. So we'll go round one more lap, and I'll really try to emphasise how far ahead I want you to start looking. So there's our turn point. That's the next cone. See it all the way down there. That's where we need to be looking. That's it. And touch the brake, looking through the corner. There's our next cone. And this one really illustrates the point. Just slow the car down a bit. Look over your right shoulder. See the cone up there? That's it. And that's where we're going to end up.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable, isn't it? Because it's completely, but
It's completely what?
unnatural to do that. I guess that people, when you're on the road, you wouldn't do that. But when you do it here,
You would.
you sort of need to trust yourself a little bit more.
Absolutely, even more important on the road.
Well, yeah. But I guess bad habits is probably not
Well,
something that people
it's the further ahead you're looking, the think of your vision being on high beam rather than dip beam. You're seeing more of the road. You're identifying hazards that much earlier. You're planning for those hazards. You're putting a driving plan together. You're managing your space, and you're going a very long way to avoiding an irritating word that crops up in a lot of insurance claim forms, and that's the word suddenly. Suddenly this, suddenly that. We don't like suddenly in our drive, and this technique that we're describing here is I'd say it's even more important on road than it is on track.
Because you've got more obstructions.
You have. So that's the way it all works. We'll exit this time round if you're comfortable with everything. You okay in the back?
Yeah, I'm fine. I take it this is being videoed.
Or every drive is, yeah. Let's turn. But why do you ask?
Make sure that you got a record of
I
it.
think they're all
Okay.
recorded anyway, just in case you change your mind, maybe.
Let's turn right. And we'll make a left turn through these blue cones. We've got a
Yeah.
gap in the fence at that point. And when we make this left turn, we'll turn back on ourselves and put the car into lane 1. Left-hand lane. Good. Okay. Now, let's pop the car into park. We'll just cross down to park. Straight piece of road. You'll certainly remember this from when your father was driving. The end of the strip is the blue and white barrier. We get the car accelerating, 503 horsepower going out to the back wheels, but the conditions are atrocious. So we've got to be very smooth. Smooth is good. We're still very much in the analog age here. We haven't gone digital, so we don't treat the pedals as on-off switches. Blend the power in, blend the brakes in, and so that would be really important when we go onto our North Circuit, because the road is going to be pretty treacherous. Rear-wheel drive, if we just stamp on the throttle, the wheels are going to slip around. Traction control will actually make it slower. So get a feel for blending the power in. First one we do quite a gentle run, just to remind ourselves what the facility is like, and then we'll come back and start winding up the wick a little bit. The end of the strip, as I say, is the blue and white barrier. Keep the car accelerating, keep on going, wait for me to say brake, and I won't forget, and when I say brake, firm progressive brake. So with the brake, we're just squeezing that brake pedal, the weight goes to the front, and those dips, front tyres are carrying more weight, more rubber on the road, more grip. Alright?
Yeah.
We'll check our pedals one more time, see if nothing's mysteriously moved. So that's it, and brake, everything all good?
Yeah.
Lovely. So back into drive, both hands on the wheel, and let's just do a modest run to start with, and then we'll come back. More brake.
Do you want to come to a complete stop?
Well,
No?
we will do on following runs, but let's make a U-turn around here.
What happened at the beginning? Was that look with the...
Well, what do you think happened?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't absolutely floor it, but it was quite progressive. But it was the grip, losing grip. Is that what it
Yeah.
was?
So why did that happen?
Too much acceleration, maybe. Yeah.
Well,
or too much power at one time.
Exactly. There's nothing you or I can do about the grip available.
No.
Grip is a given. German engineers are working on that one, but they haven't yet worked out how to defy the laws of physics. Back to here. So we've just got to be a little bit more progressive. It's difficult. The road is slippery. I mean, don't misunderstand me. The road is slippery. But from a standstill, any introduction of power is going to require quite a lot of grip. So, but as the car gets rolling and picking up speed, we can feed in more and more power. There'd be a graph that we could draw that would demonstrate it, but we haven't got the luxury of a graph in the car, so we just have to feel, just sensing what we can do with it. Let's try it one more time in comfort, and then we'll go for sport and sport plus. So off we go. That's it. Nice. Really good. Really good. That's it. And winding it up. Going. Spot on. Brilliant. Very nice. And brake. And stop. Complete stop. Complete stop. And it's just the same at the braking end of the spectrum. We didn't get to our ABS brakes. You were feeling for the grip available. If we pushed a bit harder or a bit more suddenly, then we would have experienced ABS. Not a problem. ABS is on the car for a very good reason. But in both those, accelerating and braking, we were working with the grip available. Good. Let's go down to the end again, make a U-turn behind these cones. A gap in the fence. One again. And we'll put the car into sport. So just flick of the switch. We're in second gear at the moment. We're now in first. When that screen clears, we'll see we're in first gear. That's it. The throttle pedal has been sharpened up. The response, the gear changes will go a little bit more quickly. Same power output, none of that changes, but the car's just taking on slightly different personality. So we'll wait for this car to our right to head off.
Is it this sport where all 8 cylinders are being used? Is it because I know that when it's in comfort mode?
Yeah, we're only using 6 of the 8, weren't we, I think?
or is it only Sport Plus?
No.
But Sport uses all of them, does it?
All modes. We haven't got cylinder shutdown on this.
Oh right, so maybe it was just
See it on mine.
yeah.
Yeah.
It only uses 6 of the 8 cylinders when it's in.
And
comfort
what
mode.
car have you got?
It was the E-Class when he did the track. You did yours in the E60.
No, it was an
didn't you?
AMG.
Was it? Yeah, it was an AMG,
Yeah.
but it was the.
Yeah, it was four-wheel drive, though, wasn't it?
Uh huh.
Oh right, maybe yeah.
Oh, so it's the latest generation.
It just
we-
knocks
we,
out.
We kicked off with the six cylinders of the 8 operating.
It's not until you put it in Sport or Sport Plus that actually uses all 8, so it's just been a little bit more economical. I forget what car was it, a C or an E? It was the more. It wasn't the old. It was the newer version. You know, the
Okay.
bi-turbo jobs.
Right.
But
Oh, that's interesting.
whether it's the
Check
same
that.
as it
I-
might be, you know. But
No, we haven't got cylinder shutdown on this. This is a V8, 4-litre V8, which is the same engine that was in the E-Class.
has this got eco mode? I suppose there's no
Well,
point. But comfort mode is probably the closest thing you get
comfort
to it.
is, yeah. And that's stop start. That's what that green button means. But in Sport, no, we definitely haven't got cylinder shutdown on this one. So we're in Sport. We'll wait for them to clear. Let's go and see how we get on with Sport.
Same way.
Yep, off we go. So good. Going. Great. Nice work with the brakes. We still haven't got dry ABS, have we? Yeah.
Is that, do you want me to? Do you want me to be a bit more firm, or is that?
No,
I'm feeling it. I'm not.
Good.
I'm not deliberately trying to stop on a sixpence, but I could.
No, but you were extracting a lot of brake out of the thing, weren't you? Let's go down to the end to our cones again. Right. So what are you doing, Crowthorne?
Not what do you mean for a living?
Yeah.
I work near Watford actually. Do you know, I do get about a bit, don't I, when I put it that way.
Good God, so you do some miles in your car then?
We work. It's foreign currency, sending money overseas, but it's mainly people buying property in France.
Right.
So if you know someone who's ever bought a property in Spain or France
Yes,
or moved
yeah.
overseas, then
You would have been the people to do it.
yeah, we move their money. We work with a lot of property agents, do a lot
There
of
are quite a
property
number of
shows.
people that do that, aren't there?
Yeah.
What's the name of the company?
Currency Index.
Okay.
But we work. You must know A Place in the Sun when you watch the TV program about people buying homes on the
Yeah,
Costa del
okay.
Sol.
Yeah.
It's that industry. It's really
Right.
it's really good. I'm going to Spain for the whole of March
Oh,
to
yeah.
go and work with some property agents. To
Okay.
go do a bit of drumming up business. Work with some existing people.
Oh,
and
very nice.
Hopefully get rid of all of this
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
you
yeah.
see here.
Well, I'm going towards the end of May, so
Whereabouts you go?
just northern Spain. I'll be on two wheels. I do a lot of motorcycling.
Oh right, wow. I'd love
Um,
to do that. Proper
So
touring. What northern Spain is in sort of San Sebastian, up by the French border.
we go into Santander.
Santander. Yeah.
We ride in the Picos for a while, then we head out to. We stay in a little place near a very small town called Tromp, but it's not all that far from Andorra. It's inland from Barcelona, south of Andorra, and whether you go north, south, east, or west, some of the roads around there are just spectacular. We do
for biking,
big
yeah.
big mileages, probably 2,500 miles in a week.
Probably
and,
can't get too close to the mountain anyway, can you? In February, it'd be a bit
No,
too snowy.
in May we're going up. May.
Oh right, fine. I'd love to do that. I'd love to go like for a bike ride, a Harley Davidson around the Pyrenees or something like that. That'd be
Now,
pretty.
we've put the car in sport this time, so you can hear the exhaust note has opened up another valve, even sharper throttle response, faster gear changes. It's a shame the roads are the way they
Yeah.
are, but anyway, let's see what we make of this. Off we go. Good, nice, yeah, good, excellent, very good, lovely. Keep going, great. Stop. That's great. It's top marks, but both ends of the scale. We're feeling that grip available. It's not a problem if the wheel slip and so on, but I really like to try to encourage this progressive technique, and it will be critically important when we go onto our North Circuit. If you start mashing the throttle in the middle of the corner, even though we've got ESP and so on, the car will get pretty unstable.
I can imagine.
Right, that was our hazards will self-cancel as we move off, so let's turn that behind these cones. And this time, Matthew, you were asking about ABS. This is a good place to experience it. This time, when I call brake, just stamp on the brake button. No subtlety about this at all. You're on your way up to Watford, the motorway suddenly stop, and it does.
I've had to. When
Yeah.
a car was in the slip road getting off to the M25, I was getting onto the M4,
Yeah.
and he decided, nope, I need to stay on the M25. He came back on, smack,
Yeah.
and that was about 30 metres in front of me, and I had to slam my
Not-
car on,
not-
and
not
I
good.
instantly looked behind me to see if there was a 7-ton
Yeah,
articulate
yeah.
lorry behind me. Luckily.
Just wait for them to go.
Oh.
So we're going to be quite a sharp stop this time.
Yeah.
All right. You seatbelt on.
Got you holding on to the...
Yeah. Good. Right. Off we go. Let's try it. Good. Nice. Good. Come. Okay. Keep going. Great. And there's our hazard.
What is that feeling in the foot? It happens in my car sometimes. It feels like something's actually...
Pulsing.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well, what do you...
But... I
Tell
can
me
actually-
how ABS works. What is happening with ABS?
I don't actually. No, you had this conversation last time.
Braking, as the police used to call it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just braking off, on, off,
Yeah.
on, off with braking
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah.
You used to
Oh,
have
so
to
it's
do
all...
it
Oh, wait.
yourself.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So, all this stuff, but you
Yeah.
don't...
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on. The point being that if the wheel stops turning, particularly a steered wheel,
Mhm.
if the wheel stops turning, you have no control over the car at all. For as long as the wheel is still turning, you've got control inputs.
Mhm.
And that's what ABS is doing, it's preventing the wheels from locking.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
So,
I've heard of ABS.
it's been around a long time.
And I knew it was something to do with braking.
Yeah.
So that's...
Anti-blocker system is what
Ah,
it's
so
called.
it stops the wheels.
Yeah.
They need to keep turning to an extent.
That's right. And we'll go and have a look at that now. Actually, seeing something has come up, so we'll go back to our blue cones, but this time we'll make a right turn towards the building. Not too many people that would know what cadence braking is these days.
No, it's a bit
Were you in the
crazy,
police?
isn't it? No.
Let's turn this way.
I was keen
On driving.
on driving.
Okay.
Very much old, you know, like a standard 10,
Yes.
followed by a Wolseley 1550.
Oh, brilliant. Good stuff. When it was the driver who
That's
determined
right.
how the car behaved.
He's in
Now,
control
we're,
of it, yeah.
well, we're still in control of it, but an awful lot is being
Yeah.
taken for granted these days, and it's a bit of a generational thing.
It's like a sat nav for a pilot. You know, you
Yeah.
can pass your pilot's license because I have a friend, but he still does his all by pencil
Yeah,
and compass
yeah.
rather than just having
Yeah.
the equivalent of
Good.
a
And
an
that's
aerial
exactly
map.
the way I navigate, so I can't be doing with sat navs. So the road in front of us
Mhm.
is kind of slippery. You remember all this from your previous visits, and you were asking about ABS and so on. We'll just go and experience it in operation. Let's treat this road in front of us as a two-way street. The width of the road is between the blue cones, so we'll approach slightly left of centre, going towards the building. Vehicles coming towards us. And without any warning at all, a guy pulls out of a junction from the left side of the road. They aren't looking, they haven't seen us, we haven't seen them. It's not our fault that we're not getting into all that, but we need to try to avoid them.
Mhm.
So when I call brake, that's the first we have seen of this fellow. So this is us driving down this road in front of us. Guy pulls out in front, this is us in the car, fellow pulls out in front, I say brake, panic brake, emergency brake, and steer around the guy to avoid him and get back to our side of the road to avoid the oncoming traffic. And this is on black ice. We'll control our approach speed 20, 25, 30 miles an hour. So when we move off, don't use full throttle, please. That would you've got a speed limiter on your car.
Yeah.
So just enough gas to get to 30. You'll feel when you get to 30. Maintain that speed. Wait for me to say brake. Stamp on the brake. Steer right. Steer left.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's go and give it a go. So, I think about 30. That's probably about 30 now, I guess. And brake. That's left. Keep your. Okay, let's try that again. We took our foot off the brake, didn't
Oh
we?
right, so you want me to keep the
Oh,
you want me to keep my foot on the brake the whole time?
Yes.
Right.
and we'll turn right here, checking both directions. Yeah, there we go.
We needed that one.
What, that?
Yeah.
You did it one with and one without, did you? Oh yeah, I suppose that's the whole point, isn't it?
There's nobody waiting, just
Straight
carry
through.
on. Yeah. We've still got the limiter on at 30, so slightly left of centre. Wait for me to say brake. And the width of this road, remember, is between the blue
Yeah.
cones.
So brake and do the swerve, but don't let
that's
go of the
right,
brake.
brake. Left. And straighten up and stop. Complete stop. And that is our ESP in action, Electronic Stability Program. Your car's got all this. It's a brilliant driver assistance program. It wasn't our fault that fellow pulled out in front of us. In a perfect world, we would have seen it happening there and planned accordingly and so on, but it's not a perfect world. And the traffic densities in the UK, certainly in the southeast of the country, are such that things like that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
All that happened there, you stamped on the brake, you were steering just as we'd suggested. The car rapidly came to the conclusion that this isn't going to work, we haven't got the grip available to do what you're asking the car to do. So the car took over, it was determining which wheel to apply the brakes to, for how long, when to release, dumbing down the throttle response, all sorts of other clever things going on, helping you keep control.
Mm-hmm.
Without it, we would be spinning like a top. I don't know where we'd end up doing that sort of manoeuvre.
How new is this technology? 10 years, 15 years, or
Yeah, it's
longer
been,
maybe?
well, ABS has been on cars. Mercedes with the first manufacturer with ABS in '74, I think, on production passenger vehicles. And this technology has been developed.
Gets better every year, I
Gets
suppose,
better every
doesn't it?
year. Mercedes has always been very much at the forefront of all of this, but the gap between us and other manufacturers is closing the whole time. Legislation is now requiring all new cars to have this sort of stuff on them. But it's not for us to go away from this saying, wow, you can't have an accident. You can. Absolutely you can. It's an assistance program. It's not on a car to compensate for poor driving. Let's move up to our two giveaway signs. That's how slippery it is.
Oh right, yeah, I was wondering what was
Yeah.
going on there.
Up to our two giveaway signs. And checking those directions. We're going straight across here. And we'll stop us here. Now, this is the same surface that we've just been on. This car, rear-wheel drive, self-evidently. Yours is front-wheel drive.
Mine's
You-
four-wheel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's four.
Oh, right. Okay. That's quite unusual.
It's 4MATIC. Yeah, well I think
Oh,
maybe it's just a new.
okay.
It's only 2 years old,
Right.
so it's got
Okay.
some of the new stuff. On it.
So this is a kind of slippery road. This car will behave quite differently to your car.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going to go round clockwise. Just as we emphasised at some length when we're down on South Circuit, keep looking where you want this car to go. Not where you are going, where you want it to go. Let's drive on in here. You just carry on in. Don't worry about them. Just you carry on in. That's it. And we put the car into the middle lane. Now we don't need speed here. Let's slow the car down. Slow it down. Because this is a pretty slippery road. When I say keep looking where you want this car to go, our reference point is this white line. That's the curve that we're following. You see it? Imagine this is a big roundabout. Further imagine that this line is a 3-inch high curve, and we don't want our expensive wheels to hit that curve. So, if for any reason the car appears to be turning a bit too sharply towards that line, what would you be doing with the steering?
Doing that, pulling it away.
Well, that's actually going closer.
Oh, what, this line you mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was about the outer line.
No,
Oh right.
That's the curve we're following.
Yeah, well I would steer slightly to the left or less to the right.
Exactly. So it would be utterly instinctive. If we were trying to avoid, don't allow the speed to pick up, just quite slowly. But just let's start getting a feel for the sort of grip that we've got out here. Provoke the car, be a bit sharp with the gas, just make some power. There we go. And just as we suggested, the car turned more sharply, didn't it? Just keep in the middle of this.
In between the outer and the inner.
That's it.
Of the middle.
We don't need speed out here. Just keep the speed, please, modest. That's it. So little bit of gas. Let's try again. There we go. And I can see the steering technique that you were encouraged to use, or that you watched last time. It works when we're on track. It will not work here.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment, you're going to be requiring more steering input than you can achieve with your hands in that position.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready to spin that wheel pretty rapidly is what I'm suggesting.
Oh, right, fine.
Now, what's happening here? You're making a little bit of power. The car's losing grip. What specifically is happening? Where are we losing grip?
On the oversteer.
Which end of the car is losing grip?
Oh, right, sorry, the rear.
Yeah, and we're losing grip because we're making more power than we got grip.
Mm-hmm.
So the back of the car is losing grip, and it's sliding in which direction?
Left. Or to the
Correct.
outside.
So to the
Out.
outside. And what's the front of the car doing?
Probably not a lot.
Turning into the curb.
Yeah, well,
It is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Steering.
Absolutely. Reference to this curve that we're making.
Mm-hmm.
Try it again. Make a bit of gas. Okay. That's it. What are you doing with the steering?
Countering, driving the
You're
opposite.
steering left.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't be doing that if the front wasn't moving.
No.
So.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's all correct. You're doing absolutely the right thing. But I'm just trying to really reinforce the fact that this is an instinctive, intuitive, call it what you will.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst all that's been going on, our ESP has been doing a pretty good job. It's recognising what you're trying to achieve. It's also come to the conclusion that it's not going to work without assistance from the car. So the lights flashing on the dashboard, traction control operating, and so on. We'll put the ESP into sport. It's still engaged, but the point at which it's helping has gone into the background a wee bit. Let's try again. A little bit of gas. Yeah. That's it. And again. Good. And as I suggested, unless you've got rubber arms, you need to
Yeah.
twiddle that steering wheel pretty rapidly.
Need a few more degrees.
So just try again, get comfortable with the car moving around. Yeah, go on. Excellent. And this is now helping us experience and appreciate that there is a very clear relationship, almost connection, between steering and throttle. They're not isolated controls, are they?
No.
We're working in conjunction.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll now turn this ESP off altogether. A little bit of gas. Okay, well done.
Real risky.
Yeah, just have a bit of fun. So, bit of gas. Good. That's it. Yeah, carry on. And all the way around.
Lost that one.
Yeah.
So we're getting the back of the car out. We're introducing the correct amount of steering to catch that slide. And if you want to progress to drifting, we now need to be able to maintain enough power, not very much, but enough to keep the rear wheel spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we
Without
end up
overclocking
drifting
it.
the car.
Yeah. So in between what I did first and what I did second.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
in the middle
yeah.
of them two,
Balancing,
basically.
So let's give it a go. Not too many revs, not too many. Sharp left, all the way around. Okay. It's still your steering technique which is hampering you. It's nice seeing hands at 2/4
Mhm.
but here just forget that technique.
Yeah.
Be prepared to just hold the almost one-handed or something. You need
Yeah.
to be able to turn that
Okay,
wheel rapidly.
fine.
Reaction.
So, go on, bit of gas. That's it. More steering. Good. So keep looking where you want the car to go. Bit of gas. That's it. That's better. And now we just need to try to maintain enough throttle. A little bit of throttle. Keep it going. That's it. That's it. But look, you were looking over there.
Yeah.
Keep looking where you want the car to go. not throttle,
Was that too
steering.
slow?
You,
couldn't go any
kept
more
on
left than that,
saying
was
more
it?
steering, and you kept on applying more throttle.
Sorry.
It,
So
it's,
less-
it's, well,
Oh,
it,
it's
it
about-
depends. The
yeah.
car was still sliding away from us, wasn't it?
Mhm.
So more throttle is unlikely to be the answer.
Very good point.
Sharp right, all the way around. Tell you what we'll do, we'll exit this time round, keep on going, that will go. We'll exit this time round and we'll go back to our straight line wet grip and
Mhm.
see if we can help you making enough power just to keep the wheels spinning.
Mhm.
We'll turn out from here, up through this, up here, that's it, we're going to turn left down this road. We'll make a right turn through our blue cones.
What's the flashing lights over there? Is that a fun
We've got a
fair, isn't it?
fairground,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Well, we haven't. That's
Well, this is a fairground. Sort of. Sort of.
yeah, turn right.
Right over here.
Yeah. And we'll take the car down to this surface and then we'll stop when we get all four wheels onto the slippery stuff.
So we'll stop on the slippery stuff.
Yeah.
In the middle.
No,
anywhere?
at this end. The moment we get on, so it's a little bit further forward, fraction more, and we'll stop just there. Complete stop. Now, let's see if we can try to do exactly what we're doing over there. Make some the sudden power input, get the wheels spinning, and keep them spinning.
Mhm.
And keep looking where you want the car to go, just the same as over there. In this instance, it's easy. The trees are where we're heading for, and just play around with the steering. Get the back of the car sliding one way or the other, and so on. You with me?
Okay.
So let's do it. So put the gas, go on. That's it. Good. Keep it there. Keep it there. Keep them spinning. Good. Lovely. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. That's it. Bring the swing this way. Like that. That's it. Keep it going. Lovely. Ah, spot on. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it spinning.
That's drifting in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And off the gas. This is now off. This is now grippy. Give way signs. Let's go and try that again. And that's exactly what we were trying to do over there.
I suppose just there I'm understanding how much power I actually need, which isn't an awful lot.
No, the grip levels are not identical. That's giving us a bit more grip than we're comfortable with at the
Yeah.
moment. So that makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's exactly what identical. We're trying to maintain keeping those wheels spinning.
Mhm.
Let's just try that again. And see how easy it is. You were perfectly comfortable with the car moving around all over the place because you kept looking straight ahead.
Mhm.
And these guys.
Oh, it's a C43.
Mm-hmm. Now that is a V6, so there are only
Mm.
6 cylinders in that one. It's a nice car actually. It's probably a more realistic road car than a C63 in some respects.
I've taken one for a test drive.
Have you?
It's the Cabriolet soft top one.
All right.
That was just with Mercedes. And the only difference is it just doesn't have the roar of this.
It makes a great noise.
Oh, it still makes a fantastic noise. But this wins.
And that's four-wheel drive, the 43.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot safer. You'll have less accidents.
Yeah, but it's more difficult to do the drifting.
It's actually not in the C43 because it's a fixed split. It's 6931. The 4MATIC Plus, the drive ratio is shifting around the whole time, and it's not possible to drift those. And ironically, a four-wheel drive car is actually not meant for drifting. It's we build the things to provide that extra
Yeah,
stability.
right. Yeah.
So let's just try that again. Take it down to the surface.
Going to a stop?
Well, just keep the car rolling. Just keep it rolling, which again is what we're doing over there, isn't it? So good. Okay, keep it spinning. That's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Let's get the other way around. Sharp right.
Getaway driver.
And up to our 2 give-way signs. And we'll make a right turn and we'll go and have a look at our North Circuit. Excellent. Clear from my side.
So we're going
Yep,
right.
Yep. And we'll turn left onto our North Circuit. Now this, you remember from your previous visit, absolutely the same width as the South Circuit. The white lines are the edge of the road. We've got red cones at some corners, not all. And there's nobody coming, so feed on round. But take it easy. You were in the back seat in your previous laps. It's always a little bit different being in the front. There's no overtaking out here, so if we do see somebody behind us, don't worry, they'll not be trying to force their way past us. But smooth and accurate are the key ingredients here. Turn right, brake, that's good. That's nice, all the way out to my side of the road. Very smooth with the gas, it's slippery, very smooth. We've still got quite a lot of steering on. As the road steering gets straighter, feed in the power. Good, running down the left. Brake, there's our turn point, brake. That's the white line. This corner goes on forever. Always looking over your right shoulder, all the way around. That's good. Keep the car between the white lines. And that's one lap complete. And it won't change. See us in the mirrors in a moment and probably put the hazard lights on. When we get to the entrance point of the circuit, they will, I think, move to one side and allow us past. Or, yeah, they've seen us. Kind of chaotic if we allowed overtaking out here.
Yeah. I'm sure people would pay extra too.
To do what?
Their friends, yeah, if it was their friend. I'm sure you guys don't want the dents.
No, we don't.
Wing mirror disappearing wing mirrors.
So they get to move to the left side, we put our hazard lights on.
Yeah,
And we
it's
give them
not straight.
we give them a wide berth to their right. That's it. That's great. Smooth with the gas. Brake, more brake.
Still quite a lot of grip I feel in this
Well,
in the wet. It's
there
still-
is, but it's slippery. It is very slippery. We're getting quite close to the limit of grip. Very gently with the gas. Got a lot of steering on at the moment. Very smooth and progressive. That's it. Nice and smooth. Good. More brake, more brake. again. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
I can't see from here, but the traction control light would have been flashing as well, which is telling us that we're just overdriving slightly. Clever that these systems are, as we said earlier, that they're not a crutch to compensate for poor driving. Brake, more brake. Right too. So let's just park up here just for a second. He's stopping this box
PP.
here, yeah. And we'll just allow them to get a little bit further ahead.
Traffic.
And he's just working with somebody to coach the lines. Okay, let's carry on round. That's fine. On we go. You've got to keep it smooth and remembering this relationship between steering and throttle. The more steering we've got on, the less throttle we can apply. All the way out to the edge of the road, trying to make the corner as shallow as possible.
Running in front.
No, everybody comes to this with different abilities and experience and so on, so that's good. You carry on. And gently with the gas, don't get too ambitious. Brake, more brake. This corner hasn't changed in the last 10 laps.
Oh, I just-
We're just barreling into the thing.
I
We're
thought-
nowhere near our turn point. So you think what?
I just feel confident. Like
Well,
I
you
get
might do.
I understand. I do feel the. Don't think I was running into any kind of risk. Quite confident with braking distancing. What's your background? Like, have you done racing or you've done coaching?
Yeah,
Police?
yeah, I've done an amount of racing. On motorbikes rather than cars. And crikey, a lot of track stuff over the years. This country, Germany, I instructed the Nürburgring. They're going to stop for us. So, yeah, that's it. That's good. Nice. motor racing fan? You watch the F1s on?
Not so mad on the F1 if I'm honest, although I've watched it recently because of Lewis and it's quite exciting seeing rivalries, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd rather watch the touring car championships or the highlights of rallying.
Rallying is good. The touring car championship is turning into Dodgem Derby, I think.
Really?
Well, don't you think so?
Yeah,
There's a
definitely
lot
more
of
so.
professional fouls that go on in touring car racing.
I think it's a bit probably because they can take a bit more of a battering, whereas a Formula One car, if it connects its right wheel on the rim with another, it's gone. Whereas
Game over, yeah.
probably can adopt a bumper car kind of style driving with the.
Well, there was a time that
touring
motor
car.
racing was not a contact sport.
Well-
Perhaps I'm aging myself saying that.
But then they thought we need some audience numbers. How do we do that?
Well,
Turn a blind
that's
eye.
yeah, you're right. That's pretty much what it's about. Massive understeer.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you go into a corner a little bit too quickly and we've undone all the good work that was built up. So corner entry speed is always worth sacrificing just 1 or 2 miles an hour. And then that means we're immediately in the driving seat again the moment we turn in.
I suppose it's better to get used to driving in this weather than dry weather because we spend more of the time driving in this weather.
At this time of year we do, certainly.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will have lots of class this time. I don't think they're using the mirrors today.
So I pull over for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Let them get ahead. Let them get to that bend.
Okay, on we go. We see it in 7 minutes. Time I That's what happens. isn't
Yeah.
it? No.
Did you
No.
touch the brakes?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Why do you think the front went?
Well, probably a combination of too tight on the steering wheel and a bit more too much power on back.
You're pretty right, but it's the back that went, not the front. Good work. We'll exit this time around.
Coming out, yeah?
And yeah, out from there. make a right turn. So, good fun?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's not easy on a third hill on here.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy. Was it dry when you drove or wet? Or?
It
was
dry,
dry,
but it wasn't
but
as wet as this.
Yeah.
A little damp.
And
Yeah.
when you come to the end of the hour, unfortunately, you're just getting the hang of what's happening, you know.
That's
So
right.
It's a bit of a teaser, isn't it? Mercedes has got this worked out right. You know, so you've got to come back
Well,
and have another go.
come just gently through here. There could be people wandering around. Just keep the speed down. And
Where did you guys
let's
find it?
make a U-turn behind. We follow our one-way track,
Yeah.
and we've got a parking space alongside the curb.
What, behind him?
No.
No.
Keep on going. Past the G-Wagon, and there's an empty parking bay just there.
Is he stopping? I think he is.
And we're going to park in here. Lovely. Very good.
Splendid.
And
P.
P for park, hazard lights off. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Good. So big party tonight?
Say party? No, just a few games, couple of drinks, bit of food.
Fair enough.
Down in
Yeah.
Waterlooville, where my parents came from.
Oh right. Yep.
Yeah, you
Good
came
stuff.
from there this morning, didn't you?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ignition off. I'll grab the
I'll
key
swap
for
you.
me.
You have. I've got. It's a lovely car.
I'm
It's a